Hello everyone. In this session, I'm going to start chapter 2 because in the last session we did this chapter 1. So in chapter 2, first we'll talk about the different options in HVAC industry like consultant, contractor, etc. Then we'll talk about the different types of drawing, and we'll discuss how this process in actual practice for the designing point of view as well as for installation point of view. And we'll also discuss about the other services in this process, and who is architect and who is consultant, who is a contracting company, etc. All this we'll discuss. So especially if you are a beginner, this session is very important for you to understand the process for this building industry. Okay, and the steps involved in HVAC designing and the steps involved in HVAC installation. Okay, so if you are experienced, then you know all this process because you're already working. Maybe you are working in a consultant side, or maybe you're working in a contracting side. So you may know this process. But if you are a beginner, this is very important for you so that you will get the mindset. Means you can understand what will be your role as a design engineer and what will be your role as a site engineer if you're working in a consultant side or in a contracting side for design, for execution, etc. So let me proceed. I'm going to share the screen. So here on screen, you can read chapter 2. So chapter 2 is about the HVAC industry overview, or I can say the building services, how this process in actual practice. Okay. So now in market, you'll find the BIM process, building information modeling. So that BIM process we'll discuss in some other day. At this level, let me start with the very basic. We'll try to understand the terms and terminology, the different types of company, the different types of layouts, nothing but the drawings, etc. If you're already working in this industry, you know about the consultant. Okay. But for beginners, you see, generally consultant refers to this design side. Okay. So again, in consultant also, you'll find this client consultant or design consultant. So at this level, I'm not going in detail. Just I'm trying to give the basic idea. So the detail about the process also we'll discuss. But at this level, first of all, let me give you the brief idea about the process. Okay. So in consultant, you'll find two options. One is a owner consultant and the second is a design consultant, or I can say the main consultant or the design consultant. Okay, so we'll discuss more about this. So what are the departments in the consultant? So here I've given the list just to get the quick idea at this level. Okay, so at this level, if you're not getting the idea, so don't worry. Let me proceed. When we talk about the steps involved in designing or this installation side, you'll get more idea. So what are the departments or what are the sections in the consultant side? So you'll find the sales department, so from which they can means the company can get the project. Then you'll find the designing department. Then you'll find the drafting if it is a big company, or else you can go for a designing and drafting in one division. Next, supervision and the QA/QC. And QA/QC, this is for the design side, not for the not for the installation point of view, because consultant means they are not on site. They're dealing with the design point of view. I'm talking about the design consultant. Okay. Next, if you talk about the contractors or the contracting company, you'll find the sales division, then the purchases, then design review division, then this drafting for preparing the shop drawing, because the contractor will prepare the shop drawing. You see, in actual practice, you'll find the different options. You may find the design and build project. If the design and build project means one main consultant will take the responsibility. At this level, assume that I'm considering a separate consultant company and separate contracting company. It can be a one company who's taking care of all this. Because you see, in actual practice, if you're working in say Qatar or in any country, and if you're dealing with the big project, you may find one company dealing with all, or else it can be a different companies. So in actual practice, you'll find the multiple option. So don't get confused. At this level, just try to focus on the concept. So here in contracting also, you'll find the sales, purchase, the design, drafting, execution, supervision, and QA/QC. And you see this execution in the contracting side, and here in designing in the consultant side. Okay, because generally consultant refers to the design side. I'm talking about a design consultant, and the contracting refers to the installation execution side. Okay, again, in that contracting company, you'll find the subcontractors. So it's a big process for big project. For small project, the things are not that much complicated. So we'll try to understand the process of this services or this designing and the execution in actual practice in this session. Similarly, you'll find the separate maintenance company or the contracting company may take the maintenance, or generally in actual practice, the contractor who complete the job or who complete this installation will take care for this maintenance also. Okay, like 3 years maintenance or 5 years maintenance, they need to provide that maintenance as a part of their the project scope, or it can be a separate maintenance company that includes again sales division, purchase division, service, cleaning, etc. Okay, so this is just to get the idea. No need to write. I'll share you these notes. Just focus on screen. If any additional points, I'll inform you to write. Just focus and try to understand the process. So now we'll discuss how this HVC project executes in actual practice. Because in this training program, we bother about this HVC service. No? So my focus is on the HVC system. Apart from this, I'll give you the idea about the other services also for coordination is required. But at present, as per this course syllabus, my intention or my focus is on the HVC system. So first we'll discuss the design steps or the design procedure for the HVC side in actual practice. Okay, so if you talk about the designing the HVC system, and you see this process is similar even for other services. At this level, here I'm focusing on for HVAC, but even for other services also, you can consider the similar process with few changes. So you see the first is a client in the list. So client means whom? You see, you can call client, you can call customer, you can call owner, etc.
Client who means who give a project for execution.
Yes. So who required to initialize the project? No? So assume that you are the client and you are interested to construct a villa or a high-rise building, whatever, or a hotel or a school, etc. So assume that you are the client. Okay. So as a client, in actual practice, to whom you are going to contact to get this information or to start the project?
Architect.
Yes. And who is the architect?
Architect means
Who design the building?
to design the building design.
No, I don't think. Who's doing space planning?
You see, here we can say architect or we can say the main consultant. Okay.
Yeah.
Or I can say this owner consultant. Generally, for a small project, we can say architect because architect will take care for overall building planning and design. But it did not mean that he will design the HV system, he will design the plumbing, firefighting system, etc. No, but he will take care for overall planning of the building, the idea. So if you talk about this main consultant or say owner consultant, in that you may find the different engineers, including the architect or a senior mechanical engineer or a senior electrical engineer. So initially, under architect, you'll find all this because architect is not just a civil engineer. He is taking care for including the services also, means the overall planning of the building. And if you talk about this in engineering also, if you talk about this B-arc compared with the B-tech civil or mechanical, B-arc is not 4 years, it's 4+ years, nearly 5 years. And they are going to learn this civil side and also this building services. Means they know the overall picture of the building, including the services. So they can able to coordinate with the services and initially they can initialize the project. Okay, so generally we can, as a client, we can contact to the architect or I can say the main consultant in actual practice for big project. For a small project, you can contact to the architect and he will initialize the project and he will prepare the architectural layout, including this structure at the initial stage, like concept drawing. And with that, he can float that to the sub consultant who is taking care for different services. So in actual practice, you may find a separate sub consultant for different services, or you may find one consultant taking care for all the services. So in actual practice, you'll find multiple options. So you may find the separate sub-consultant or you'll find one main consultant. Again, in consultant, we have a design consultant, we have a main consultant. So a design consultant basically is for designing point of view, but main consultant will take the complete responsibility for big projects. So at this level, I'm considering architect, but if it is a big project, you can consider the main consultant or the owner consultant. Okay. Getting a point online?
Yes, sir.
Just try to visualize the process, try to visualize the concept, because in actual practice, as per the type of project, this process may vary. For very small project, we don't take for all this thing. One engineer will take care for all this. Okay, or for small project like in India, We don't require a separate designing for plumbing. The plumber will take care of this. So the options will change accordingly as per the type of project or the size of the project or location, etc. So here what we are discussing is a standard process. So you see, as a client, you're going to contact to the architect or to the main consultant, and who will take care for overall planning of the building. Okay. And after that, you see, this architect, he will provide that architectural layout. So he will prepare the architectural layouts, initially a rough sketches, not in detail. And he will provide this information to the different services or to the different sub-consultant, or one consultant may have all this. So you see, these are the different services, the firefighting system, electrical system, HV system, structure. Again, you see structure based on the load of the services, and you find some other consultant for this security side, or for elevators, for accelerators, etc. So this is for the design point of view. So we have some important points to discuss. You see, design of the large building project is an extremely complex task. It's not easy. Why? The main reason is what? Because you'll find n number of services, and if it is a big project, means it's not easy because of coordination issues. So you see, design of a large project. So you see, design of a large building project is an extremely complex task. It may take months or even years, and to complete, and may involve n number of engineers. But if you talk about a design of a small project, one engineer or two engineers can take care of this. Next, further, you see the design for the HVAC system, because here at this level we bother about the HVAC, so directly in the notes you'll find related to HVAC. But again, if you are dealing with other services, the case is similar. But here, the design of HVAC system for large project is a responsibility of whom? The consultant company who is taking care for this HVAC, or it can be a consultant taking care for all the services, or specifically for the HVAC. At this level, we are talking about HVAC, so that's the reason I have written this HVAC consultant company. Okay, so remember, the design will take care by the consultant, and the installation is going to take care by the contractor. Or if you talk about the main contractor may take the responsibility of both. That is called design and build project. Okay, at this level, I'm just considering this as a separate. If it is a main contracting company, the case is different for big projects. So in actual practice, you may find that options also. Okay, so don't get confused. At this level, just try to understand as a separate consultant separate, and contracting separate. So here, the design for the HVAC system for large building project is a responsibility of a HVAC consultant company. Consultant engineers may also carry out such other duties, such as what? Cost estimation and field supervision. On site, they will supervise also, but it not mean that they will involved in the installation. The installation part will take care by the contractor, or again you may find the subcontractor. Next, you see, each of these tasks is performed in cooperation with whom? Architect, as we discussed, or we can call the main consultant. Or in design and build project, you can consider the main contractor who carry out the overall building planning and design. And the next point is very, very important: coordination between the architect and the services, and in between the services, is very important and difficult task. And if any error in the coordination, will give you the disaster result. For example, if you talk about design site, in design, before completing this electrical design, if the HVAC people complete the design, so then what will happen? I'm talking about this, say, placement of 8 terminals, duct routing, etc. before this electrical. So what issue will arise? Yes, online.
I mean, electrical services are above the ducting and all this.
You see, one example, even the beginner also can relate this. So everyone knows the light fixtures, right? Light fixture you'll find in the false ceiling. No? Just I'm saying, taking simple example so that even the beginners can relate. So everyone know this light fixture, right? So for example, here is a plan. In that, these are the locations for the light fixture. And if this information is not aware by this HVAC design engineer, what will happen? They may utilize this space for placing the 8 terminals like diffusers. So what will happen? In drawing, it's possible, but in actual practice, in one location and at the ceiling, at the false ceiling, you cannot place the two different components. right? This is one example, simple example, so that you can relate. So the coordination is required even in design also. Definitely is required at the time of installation. That is very important. But even at the time of designing, the coordination is must. And for that we have a BIM process, and for that we have advanced softwares like Revit. Anyhow, this course is not for Revit. Revit we are offering as a separate course. And if you think that I'm promoting Revit, you're not completely wrong. So I'm promoting the Revit because now in market, maximum the big consultant or many countries, they're using this Revit software because Revit work on the BIM concept, especially for this coordination point of view. It's a very advanced process. Okay, so in some class we'll talk about that BIM concept. Next, so coordination is very important at the time of design stage as well as at the time of installation. At this level we are talking about the design side. Next, you see the steps involved in HVAC, because here we in this training program we bother about HVAC, no? So we'll discuss the steps involved in the HVAC designing, so that at the time of designing also these steps will help you. And this can be asked at the time of interview also, very basic question. So if you are applying for a design engineer, you can expect this question, the steps involved in the HVAC designing, and that too in order. So here the first step is a building survey. But you see, all these services can design after what? After getting the architectural layout only, no? Initially,
Yes,
if you talk about the concept drawing or concept stage or very initial stage, that case is different. But again, for example, if the design consultant want to design any service, the reference is what? The architectural layout. Because all the services for what? For designing and installing for the building, no? So the architectural layout, the building layouts are required. So just assume that the architectural layouts are ready. So when we get as a design engineer working in a consultant for the HVAC side, the first step is what? You see, building survey. And we have a separate chapter for building survey, which is chapter number 6. After completing this basics up to chapter 5, you'll find all the basic, and which is also very important. But the designing part start from chapter 6, and that is building survey. So in building survey, we are going to extract the information from the architectural layout, from the electrical service, and from the different people, and we'll prepare a file called input file. And based on that we can start the load calculation, and based on that only we can able to select the type of system. So at this level you may not get this terminology if you're a beginner, but don't worry, we have a separate chapter for all the steps. At this level just I'm giving the idea so that you can get the mindset. These are the steps for the designing, and later when I expand this steps, you'll get the clear idea. So at this level, building survey, it not mean that land survey or level survey. That land survey, level survey will take care by the civil people. But as a mechanical or electrical engineer, building survey refers to extracting the information from the architectural layout and understanding the requirement for the building, getting the inputs from the client, from the other services, to prepare a list of information that is called input file. Based on that, we can start the designing for the service. And this is very important, because you see, nothing is fixed in actual practice. Suppose if you're working in a consultant as a design engineer, suppose one time you may get the project related to say application as school. Next time you may get say office project. Or else you may involve in any industrial project. So what do you think? The requirement for this different application is going to be same or different? Different. So that says in extracting the information is required, then only you can able to design as per the application or the project or client or location or authority requirement. Right. So that's the reason this building service is important. We have total 17 points to discuss in detail in chapter 6. Next, based on that, we can think for selecting the system. You see, don't get confused here. Equipment selection and system selection both are not same. System selection means selecting the type of system which suits the building requirement or the client requirement. That client requirement means I'm talking about the budget point of view, or the architectural requirement, interior requirement, etc. And selecting system is not just a technical part. You need to consider this other people requirement also. And here system selection refers to, for example, suppose assume that you got a very small villa project. So in the small villa project, we are not going to suggest chill water system. At this level, you may not know what is chill water system. So at this level, you see chill water system is generally for big project. For small project, you are going to suggest what? Window or split? Okay, window. Okay, you forget about the window. Window is not a standard. So you may suggest the split system, or you may suggest the
VRV system.
VRV system or package or ductable. You will not suggest for the chill water system. Chill water system also available with the 15 TR capacity. In special cases, one can use, but generally for small villa project, nobody will install this chill water system. We have other and easy. We have other option which is budget friendly and space friendly. Okay, so system selection means based on the building survey as per the architectural requirement or the application requirement or the client budget, interior requirement, etc. Will select this system is best suitable for the particular type of project. So we are going to suggest, but again, final decision depend on the architect as well as the client also as per the requirement. So based on the building survey, we'll deal with the selection of system. And you see, for selection of system, you must know the knowledge of the different systems, no? And for that, we have chapter number 5. In chapter number 5, we'll discuss the different types of system, right from window to chill water system, including the air cooled, water cooled, VRF package, ductable, etc. So basically, the system is divided into 3 category. One is a DX system, second is a chill water system, and third is a all air system. Again, all air system can be a part of a DX system, can be a part of a chill water system, or else widely, if you classify means, you'll find 2 systems. One is a DX and second is a chill water system. Apart from this, you'll find this radiant type or radiant cooling, some advanced option also, but what is commonly used in market, DX and a chill water system. Next, we have the lengthy part and important load calculation. And you see, in load calculation, you'll find the cooling load calculation as well as the heating load calculation, cooling load calculation for summer, heating load calculations for winter. And as per the syllabus, first we'll deal with the manual cooling load calculation, then E20 chart, then E20 Excel, then we'll start the software calculation. And as per the syllabus, I'm offering HAP, Carrier HAP. You may find the list of softwares for the load calculation. The list I'll provide, but as per the syllabus, I'm offering Carrier HAP. And this is a important and lengthy part of the syllabus. And this I'm just considering this in a 2-part. You see, basic is part 1 and manual load calculation is part 2 and software load calculation is part 3. So only this load calculation consists of 2 parts in the syllabus in module 1. And it's lengthy, very, very important. And based on this load calculation only, we can think to deal with the equipment selection. So what is the difference between system selection and equipment selection? Any idea? Any guess?
Yes, sir. System selection means which system is provided by smaller equipment, like a,
For example, right.
like a split AC,
Yes.
HU हो गया, FC हो गया,
Fine.
etc.
Then what about equipment selection?
Equipment selection, like AHU, air handling unit.
So here, you see, don't get confused. Equipment selection means of the selected system.
Yes, sir.
Based on the results, based on the results, what we're going to get in the load calculation. For example, initially I decide to go with the split system for a small villa project. Okay, so what I did, I just decide this system I'm going to use. But what capacity of that system? You'll get capacity in the load calculation.
Yes, sir.
After load calculation, we'll do the equipment selection of the selected system.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so selection system is just we are deciding how we are going to use that system, but actual selection is going to be after getting the required capacity based on the load calculation that we used to call equipment selection. Okay, under equipment selection, you'll find this AHU selection or a package if it is a package or chill water system, whatever. So based on the capacity, using the catalog from the vendor in a consultant side. Again, in the contracting side, the actual selection and the actual model number will take care. Again, submittal, the process that we'll discuss later. Next, you see, if you talk about air side, we have air distribution design. If it is a central air conditioning system, you'll find this ducting also. So you'll not find the ducting for the split or for small unit. But if it is a ductable or if it is a chill water system, you'll find you need to design separate air distribution side also. That includes duct designing, this terminal selection, fan selection. I have given only the major points. Again, in that you'll find the list of options to discuss. So in short, that part I'm considering as a air distribution design. That includes the different methods for duct designing, different material for the duct, different types of A terminal, and we have a separate calculation for the ducting with the manual chart and table, or using duct sizer, most commonly McVie duct sizer in actual practice, or else you can use any duct sizer. The result is going to be almost same. Or this terminal selection, again terminal selection with the manual catalog or with the electronic catalog from the vendor. Then fan selection, very, very important. In that we will find the term called ESP calculation, very important for interview point of view. All this will design in the air side. Next, if it is a chill water system, for example, at the time of after building survey, if you decide for the chill water system is, it can be air cooled system or it can be water cooled system. For that, you'll be required this chill water pipe designing. Okay. So see, if you talk about this designing is divided into three major classification. One is a load calculation, second is a air system design, and third is a water system design. And water system design is for chillers only, not for DX system. Okay. And if you talk about the VRF, then separate VRF pipe sizing. That also we'll discuss. You can consider this ductable split as a DX system, or split system as a DX system. Even VRF also a DX system, direct expansion. Okay.
Yes.
And the chill water, air cool and water cool comes under chill water system. But don't worry, if anyone don't know the difference of the system, we'll discuss in detail in chapter 5. Because see, in one class you cannot learn all these things, so you may not if someone is beginner, you may not get the terms and terminology, or else even experienced people may get confusion, because you see in some location the terms and terminology is different. Okay, in actual practice, based on the location also, this terms and terminology will change. Okay, so don't get confused, we'll discuss in chapter 5. Now, so this chill water pipe designing also very important, and for interview point of view also very, very important. And generally for big projects, you'll find chill water system. In that you'll find the pipe designing with the velocity method, with the pressure method, etc., which I've given at the starting session in the syllabus. So I'll not repeat that one, because we have a separate part for this chill water sizing part. Actually, it's a part 5. You see, part 4 is air side in designing a model 1, and part 5 is a chill water side. Fitting and accessories, we used to call valve package or hookups. Then pump selection, very, very important for design point of view. Then apart from this, you'll find this control system design. I'm talking about the BMS, which is not included in the syllabus. I'll give you just the overview of BMS, but not in the syllabus, which is also required. Generally, this will take care by this electrical people or this instrumentation engineers, etc. This BMS part means control system. Next, planning the location of each piece of equipment in the building. Okay, so these are the steps for the HVAC designing, and each and every step will expand in detail in the future, in the next classes. Okay, so at this level, just to get the idea for the sequence of designing. Okay, so the major part is what? Load calculation, air side and the water side. Okay, and load calculation is common for any equipment. If it is a DX system or if it can be a chill water system, we require the load calculation. But this chill water, this ducting and chill water is for central air conditioning system, and chill water specifically for air cooled and water cooled chillers. Next, so next we'll talk about the installing the HVAC system. But before this, we'll talk about the types of drawing. Again, this is also very basic to understand the terms and terminology. And these types of drawing, this general drawing is common for all the services, including the architectural and structural side. Okay. But before this, do you know the difference between architectural and structural side online? Anyone? This architectural and structural.
Architecture means a space plan. Structures means beam, column, slab.
Yes. So if someone don't know, please make a note. A request to maintain a separate running notes also. So I'll give you some few points which is not in the notes. So you can write. You see, as a mechanical or electrical engineer dealing with the services, you should have some basic of this civil side also. So you can write architectural includes walls, comma, doors, comma, windows, and planning of spaces. Just I'm giving in short: walls, comma, doors, comma, windows, and planning of spaces. So you'll find a number of options in architecture. Just I'm giving the main points. Next you can write structural includes footings. Footing means the foundation of the building, comma, slab, comma, beams, and columns. See, which bear the load of the building, including mechanical and electrical equipments, which will bear the load of the building, including electrical and mechanical equipments. So you see, that's the reason the structure again will update after completing this mechanical and electrical services based on the load of the equipment. For example, in a project, if you want to place a air cooled chiller, which is big in size, for example, I'll show you the image of chiller at the time of chapter 5. Assume at this level, just assume it's a big equipment if you're not aware of this, and with the load of say 1000 or 2000 or plus kgs, that means it is going to be in tons. So if you want to place this heavy equipment on the roof, the structure must design accordingly. So according to that, the structure people will take care for to bear the load. So, and one more point here, what do you think? This wall is a load on the building or will bear the load of the building?
No, not where the load is.
Wall itself is a load on the building, na? And you see this definition is for the common walls. But now in market we have a standard, or we have a special construction with the concrete walls. And the concrete wall is a structure member, not the architectural member. We have some special type of design in actual practice in present market. You'll find the concrete walls, and the concrete wall is not a architectural member, it's a structural member, which is used to bear the load of the building. Okay, so you may find this type of construction also. It's a new as per my information. So remember, wall always not a load. It can bear the load also as per the type of construction in the modern construction now in market.